Part 5. Yang Mi, My Daughter Catches Ghosts. Scared millions of viewers. Author, Tianyi Madman. Chapter 41. Mamma mia, watching a variety show scared me to death, but it was so exciting. How did Xiao Xi do it, speak such calm words, and scare a large number of people to death? Is there a possibility that it's because we can't see that old lady that we feel so terrible? Xiao Xi can see it all the time, but he is used to it. Yes, unknown things make people more afraid. It's very scientific. Science is shit. Even the photographer was so scared that he ran away. What kind of science are you talking to me about? This lens moves so fast. It almost knocked me out. The photographer was running like crazy. This show once again refreshed my knowledge. I'm so impressed. Wait, why doesn't the screen shake? It seemed like the cameraman had stopped. He hadn't run very far yet, so why did he stop? The cameraman was frightened and suddenly rushed out of the door and ran all the way. More than 1 million people in the entire live broadcast room had to follow the cameraman's footsteps and watch the shaking camera angle. The originally chaotic barrage area and the comment area entered an unprecedented state of agitation. However, this state did not last long. Because the lens in the live broadcast room suddenly stabilized. Through the picture in the lens, everyone can clearly see that the photographer stopped just when everyone was puzzled. The camera lens suddenly turned over. A big round face of a middle-aged man with an unshaven beard appeared in front of everyone. Everyone in the live broadcast room was frightened to the point of peeing again. One after another. I don't even know how many people's hearts stopped. We were already frightened, but you suddenly came like this while riding a horse. You really want to kill someone. Changping, on the side of National Highway 219. The sudden escape of the photographer surprised both Yang Mi and Dilruba. They were already on the verge of collapse. Now even the only man in the car and the photographer have run away. How could they survive it? Therefore, Yang Mi got out of the car immediately, opened the back door and held Zhou Xi in her arms. The limp Dilruba also regained some strength. Unlock your seat belt, open the door, and get out from the other side. Sister Mi, what should I do? Although she got off the car, Dilruba didn't have any idea about where to go in this wilderness. She could only look at Yang Mi with a look of help, waiting for her to make a decision. Yang Mi had a bitter look on her face. How do I know what to do? I am also confused and desperate. At this moment, Yang Mi saw the bus behind her. The chief director Wang Zhenjiao and a group of staff were huffing and puffing. Walked down and ran towards the photographer who was crying and howling as he ran for his life. Let's go there too. After all, there is strength in numbers. Yang Mi said. Good. Dilruba naturally had no objections. A group of 3 people followed the photographer and walked towards the bus. Just when everyone was about to gather together, the cameraman suddenly stopped. He stopped his steps. He raised the camera in his hand, looked at it curiously, and flipped the lens. Such a weird action not only shocked everyone in the live broadcast room. Yang Mi, Dilruba, and Wang Zhenjiao and others are also a little confused. What is this guy looking at? Old Sunday. Are you okay? What are you studying? Wang Zhenjiao walked up to the PD cameraman, patted him on the shoulder, and asked. No 4. I can have SASIER. I've never seen this thing before, it's a bit rare. Movies and TV stuff, are they made with this thing? How interesting. Now that you have time, it would be great to shoot some duos. It looks like it's much more exciting than today's TV movies. Anyway, I don't like this one. The cameraman named Lao Sun, who was following the camera, spoke to Wang Zhenjiao with a smile. But he is a southerner. As soon as he opened his mouth was filled with the smell of northeastern slag. Wang Zhenjiao, who still had his hand on his shoulder, was instantly struck by thunder. Stood stunned on the spot. A warm current flowed down his crotch. Chief Director Wang Zhenjiao. He was so scared that he peed. Yang Mi, my daughter catches ghosts. Scared millions of viewers. Author, Tianyi Madman. Chapter 42. Sun PD. You are a southerner, why do you speak so strangely? Wait a minute, northeastern dialect. Just now, when Xiao Shi reported what the old lady said, it seemed that she also had the flavor of northeastern dialect. Ah! Oh my god, I'm possessed by a ghost. A staff member standing behind Wang Zhenjiao was obviously the kind of person who was slow to react. He didn't understand what was going on at first. After muttering to himself, he suddenly woke up and shouted loudly. Howling. Director, run. Director. Wait a minute, Director, why are your pants wet? Another assistant director saw that Wang Zhenjiao was closest to the ghost-possessed photographer and was still motionless, so he quickly reminded him. At the same time, he subconsciously told what he saw. Others followed the sound and watched. When they went, they all saw Wang Zhenjiao's jeans, which were obviously wet. They all understood what was going on in an instant. The chief director was also scared to the point of peeing. And he was not only scared to the point of peeing, but also seemed to be scared to death. Until now, his hand is still on the shoulder of Sun PD who was possessed by the ghost, and he has not put it down. Xyli, why is your skirt wet? And Xiaozhang, your stockings. Shut up. Come and see what's going on with the director. Obviously. Director Wang Zhenjiao was not the only one who was frightened to wet his pants. Among the staff, several people peed, including men and women, and of course some were dumbfounded. They were obviously scared to death, but they still didn't forget to reveal it. He is so stupid. Almost everyone who peed his pants was named in public. Everyone wanted to kick him away. Let him replace that Sun PD who got possessed by a ghost. Sister Me. What's going on? It can't really be that it's a ghost. Do we still want to run? Dilrabo felt that her legs were trembling and she was on the verge of being scared to pee. Perhaps the strange experiences in the past gave her some immunity and she survived. After all, just now, she was far away from that so-called old woman. But it was very close. Now it is a little further away. Mom, Aunt Reba, don't be afraid. This is indeed a ghost. I didn't expect that this old lady was actually a ghost. Before Yang Mi could speak, Zhou Xi in her arms had already spoken. As he spoke, he patted Yang Mi on the back to express comfort. This scene made everyone who saw it feel ashamed. A bunch of adults were so frightened that they yelled and even peed their pants. Instead, it was a 5-year-old kid. Nothing happened at all, and he was still comforting everyone. Ghost. Baby, what does this mean? What on earth is she going to do? After being patted on the back by her daughter's little hand, Yang Mi felt a magical power surge through her body. Her chaotic mind instantly regained its clarity. Under normal circumstances, after a person dies, the 3 souls and 7 souls leave the body and form a spiritual energy body, which is the soul body. This is the most common ghost. If nothing else, this kind of ghost will appear in 7 days. That is to say, after the first 7 years, people will enter the yin world of Fengdu and return to reincarnation. There is also a kind of ghost. Because it was killed by someone, it has hatred before death and injustice in its soul. Slowly, some cold power will evolve. This is the so-called ghost spirit. The power of ghosts is not very strong. For example, they can temporarily control other people's bodies, which is what you call ghosts. This kind of ghost can only exist in this world for a month at most. Then an envoy from Fengdu will find them and introduce them to the underworld of Fengdu. Of course, Accidents still happen. If ghosts escape the search of Fengdu messengers, they will remain in the world longer and longer. It will become a more powerful ghost. The power of ghosts is stronger, and they can even gradually condense into entities, which gives them more choices. Those very beautiful female ghost ladies that Dad had seen with the baby before. It is the existence that can condense entities. As for what level they are, I don't know, baby. The baby only knows that there are fierce ghosts, evil ghosts, white-clothed ghosts, red-clothed ghosts, and so on above the ghosts. Little adult mode is on. Joshi, I answered Mama's question. I also gave everyone some popular science, about the theoretical knowledge of ghosts, and the classification of ghosts. It opened everyone's eyes and shocked them at the same time. It was very messy, very broken. We never thought about knowing this. We never thought that we would actually see ghosts. Just recording a variety show. How could it become like this? Damn it, in the daytime, we messed with someone. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Yang Mi, my daughter catches ghosts. Scared millions of viewers. Author, Tianyi Madman. Chapter 43. I was really scared to death this time. Just as the camera suddenly turned around, I was startled by this guy. As soon as he opened his mouth, I knew, this horse must be possessed by a ghost. No wonder he suddenly stopped while running. This horse was caught up by that old woman. No, how could a gray-haired old woman catch up with a strong man? Oh, the old lady is the ghost Apiao, so that's okay. When I saw you talk about being scared to death before, I thought it was nonsense. But just now, I seem to have really peed. Although it's not much, just one bite. Then I stopped him abruptly. One bite? What is the unit of measurement for this horse? The brothers upstairs are still sisters. Your usual hobbies are very dangerous. Did you hear that? Wang Zhenjiao was also frightened to the point of peeing. Haha. If Sun Honglei, Huang Lei, and others knew about it, they would definitely be very happy and send congratulatory messages one after another. When Wang Zhenjiao supervised the production of chicken strips, he would never have imagined that he would also have such a day. Haha, it would be better if director Yan Min was also there. I want to see him pissed in fear. Even the director was scared to death. I'm afraid this really wasn't the script. Damn it, it's not a script, it's just a real ghost. Xiao Shi, I started to popularize science again. Ghosts, 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 evil spirits, and ghosts in white and red. Is this the hierarchy of ghosts? Not to mention, it's quite impressive. Ghosts don't have any power, ghosts have something, ghosts are stronger, and so on. Damn it, can the camera be turned around? I don't want to see this face, I want to see Xiao 11. I don't know why, but this cameraman looks very rugged, but when he smiles, he feels a little feminine. Is it possible that the person smiling at you is not the photographer himself, but that old lady Apiao? Ah! Damn it, if you can't speak when you're riding a horse, just shut up. I couldn't hold it back and took a small sip. Whether it is in the online live broadcast room or on the 219 provincial highway in Changping. At this moment, everything was in chaos. But soon, the situation changed again. The photographer named Sun suddenly shuddered. The originally hazy eyes have regained their clarity. What just happened? The photographer looked at Wang Zhenjiao in front of him and asked in confusion. At the same time, he habitually turned the camera lens back. It was aimed at Wang Zhenjiao, Yang Mi, Zhou Xi, Dili Riba and others behind him. Nothing. I'm just very curious about that thing in your hand, I just want to see it. Who knew that such a big boy like you could be so timid? He ran away without saying anything, and he ran extremely fast. I have no choice but to come and see you. Now I've finished reading. Prepare to study again what this thing is. Wang Zhenjiao said as he picked up the walkie-talkie in his hand. He looked left and right, then fiddled with it casually. It's over, it's over. This time, Director Wang was possessed by a ghost. I said, something is wrong if the director just stood still. This is how to do. To run or not to run, I felt like I peed again when I stepped on the horse. Everyone, try to stay as far away as possible. I feel like there may be distance restrictions due to this ghost. Sun PD, why are you standing there? There's something ghostly about the director. With the situation just now, everyone reacted quickly this time and took several steps back. The cameraman, who was confused when he heard Wang Zhenjiao speak, looked confused. The director, when did he start talking in northeastern dialect? It wasn't until he was reminded by others that he suddenly realized what was going on. That old lady Apiao who was in the car just now is now in the director's body? And before that? Then the old lady got on top of him. After thinking clearly about the cause and effect, the photographer felt his legs go weak and almost cried out, "Wow! Who knows, what the hell did I just go through?" No, ghosts really know how to ride a horse. Uncles and aunts, you don't have to be so afraid. Just a ghost. This baby can just send the old lady back to her place. Just when everyone at the scene was unconscious and peed several times, a milky voice sounded. It was Zhou Xi. She jumped off Yang Mi, took small steps, and walked towards Wang Zhenjiao, who was possessed by the ghost. Baby. Yang Mi wanted to stop her, but she didn't know what to say. She found out too. Everyone present, including the strong men in the program group who were over 180 meters tall. At this time, they were all so frightened that they even peed their pants. My daughter, who is only 5 years old, is not afraid at all. It seems like I can still deal with that old lady Apiao. But, seeing her daughter put herself in danger always made her heart pound. Mom, don't worry. Baby me. But it's very powerful. Waving her pink little fist, she showed off to Yang Mi. Zhou Xi turned around again and looked at Wang Zhenjiao, who was possessed by the ghost of Piao. Grandma. Maybe you don't mean any harm. But being possessed by ghosts is harmful to them. Are you going to come out on your own, or let me help you? Yang Mi, my daughter catches ghosts. Scared millions of viewers. Author, Tianyi Madman. Chapter 44. Kyoto, an unknown nursing home for the elderly, a large indoor activity center. One by one, the old men, who were over 60 years old, moved small stools and sat together. If an outsider saw it, it would be very strange. These old people don't go drinking tea, fishing, playing chess, square dancing, or anything like that. Why are you still pretending to be having a meeting? And if anyone sees it again, the picture played on the big screen in front of these people, will be even more outrageous. Together, these people, who are thousands or even tens of thousands of years old, are watching variety shows. If this could still be called a variety show. That's right. At this moment, these elderly people gathered together to watch a variety show. It is Parent-Child Travel Diary written by Yang Mi and Zhou Xi. In the picture on the big screen, Zhou Xi is jumping down from Yang Mi's arms and walking step by step towards the chief director Wang Zhenjiao, who is possessed by a ghost. Mr. Kong, do you really not want to stop the live broadcast of this program? You know, more than 1 million people are already watching online. Moreover, this program has become a hot topic since it started airing and has been rarely searched. If something happens again, a scene beyond scientific understanding, it will definitely spread throughout China and even the world in a short time. By then, people may be panicked, confused, and difficult to control. On one side of the big screen, holding the remote control, was a young woman in her 20s. She stood in front of an old man wearing a Chinese tunic suit and asked softly. The old man had snow-white hair, but his face was extremely rosy, and his eyes were clear and translucent. It makes people unable to see his true age for a moment. You just said, this show has been watched by more than 1 million people and has been on many trending searches. It's easy to stop their live broadcast, it's just a phone call away. But if the live broadcast stops, will people's discussions stop? Now that the great age is approaching, Suanmen is about to be restarted. Mysterious events occur frequently all over the world. In addition, in today's world, network technology is so advanced that it is almost impossible to suppress it. Now that this show has appeared, maybe it's God's will. Then take this opportunity to let ordinary people understand the situation first. If you are panicking, you must be panicking. This might also make the panic less severe. The one who was respectfully called Mr. Kong spoke in a rather calm tone. Every word is sonorous and powerful, as if it hits everyone's hearts. Yes. In today's internet age, information spreads so fast that it is almost impossible to hide it from ordinary people. It's better to let everyone know and prepare early. It will be even more confusing when the time comes. The last time Xiaoxuanmen was launched, although China won, we did not get the resources we deserved due to heavy losses. This time, we have to fight a good fight. That's right, it makes me feel aggrieved just thinking about it. Especially in my childhood, I have been dancing so much lately, and I dare to discharge nuclear sewage into the sea. It must be rectified. Asan is not honest either. The past 2 years have been about to make a move, and it's time to start hammering it out. There are also those traders in northern Myanmar who are making trouble. It's time to get to know each other. Our biggest enemy in China is the new country of rice. After all, they have gathered power from all over the world, and their strength is really terrifying. Not only that, the country of America has been using the excuse of war to plunder resources crazily in recent years, just to prepare for the launch of Dixuanmen this time. We in China were deceived last time, and now we have just recovered some of our national strength. The younger generation is a bit unable to keep up. You have to do it even if you can't keep up. If we lose again this time, our Chinese ancestors will be completely embarrassed by us. That's right. Even if we risk our lives, we still have to defeat those little bastards. The other old men also made impassioned speeches. The young girl was shocked. She also knows that the Suanmen will be opened. But what does this mean? She doesn't know very well. Why are these old men so excited? You know, just pull out any of the old people here. They are all stomping their feet, making China tremble. Who would have thought that they, who are usually so kind, when this matter was mentioned, would actually become more moved than the other? Correct. Who is the father of little girl Zhou Xi? Haven't the details been found yet? Mr. Kong waved his hand to stop everyone, and asked the woman. Not yet, not yet. The identity of that person is very strange. We found several matches. It is still unclear which one is the real him. Under full verification. The woman reported with some shame. Got it, keep reading. I would like to see this 5-year-old baby. What skills did she learn from her mysterious father? After saying this, the old man stopped talking. His eyes returned to the big screen. The same was true for everyone else. They were all staring at Zhou Xi's every move on the screen. Yang Mi, my daughter catches ghosts. Scared millions of viewers. Author, Tianyi Madman. Chapter 45. Changping, on the edge of the 219 National Road. In addition to the vehicles of the program team, there were also many cars parked on both sides of the road at this time. One by one, their heads poked out of the car window, taking pictures frantically with their mobile phones. There are even bold ones who get out of the car directly and start a personal live broadcast. At the beginning, these people actually came for Yang Mi and Dili Riba. After all, it is not an exaggeration to say that these two top actresses are the national goddesses of Chinese men. Whoever I met didn't want to take a photo with him or ask for an autograph or something. Especially the two of them, both of them are reincarnations of leg spirits. Two pairs of top-notch beautiful legs, both from the leg play series. The white ones are a bit dazzling, making it difficult to walk. But slowly. They noticed something was wrong. When I looked at the hot search list again, I was completely scared away. Only a few bold ones are left, secretly watching the live broadcast from a distance. Wang Zhenjiao, who was possessed by the ghost of Piao old lady, was still fiddling with the walkie-talkie in his hand. Suddenly she heard what Zhou Shii said to her. Looking up, Wang Zhenjiao grinned, an obviously normal expression. I don't know why, but there's something eerie and terrifying about it. Haha, you little baby, you are really bold and polite. Old lady, I really do miss you. But, you are a bit too arrogant. What's that girl's name? Reba, right. I was following Reba, and I was fine, but what happened next to you? You have to jump out and make a move. Now that I'm playing with someone else, you still have to mind your own business. You said you did it? So free. If it weren't for you, a kid, you have too much energy. The old woman has to go to you and teach you well. Okay, what are you going to do? Stop talking nonsense to me. After Wang Zhenjiao finished speaking, he put down the walkie-talkie in his hand. His eyes began to scan other people, as if he was looking for the next interesting body. Finally, as if he was deliberately provoking, he set his sights on Yang Mi. Yang Mi was so frightened that her face turned pale, and she staggered back. Grandma. It seems you don't want to stop. My dad said, be polite. If someone is rude, then we can only beat him until he is polite. Zhou Shii said, waving her pink and tender little fists. What a mess. What a polite guy. Which clove of garlic and which onion is your dad? Wang Zhenjiao, who was being possessed by the ghostly old lady Apiao, responded disdainfully. But she was just halfway through her words when she suddenly stopped. It felt like it was stuck in my throat and I couldn't speak anymore. A pair of eyes, as wide as two light bulbs, stared at the little girl in front of him. I saw Zhou Shii at this time. Facing the front lightly, he waved his palm, and then a small golden and smooth palm print floated out from her hand. Facing Wang Zhenjiao in front, bombarded away. All of a sudden, the eyes of everyone present were as wide as possible. There were even many people who even opened their mouths to the maximum extent. The kind that can easily fit 2 eggs, not to mention the melon-eating people on the roadside. The phone and chin fell to the floor. Incredibility was written all over his face. We are here to take pictures of beauties, celebrities, big B's, and long legs. Why did I also take a picture of a palm print that can fly out? Chinese Kung Fu? No, Chinese Kung Fu is not like this either. Only in those fantasy fairy tales would such a scene appear. And it was all done with special effects. But the golden palm shadow in front of me actually appeared in the real world, and it comes from a little girl who is only 5 years old. After all, she was crazy. Or am I crazy? Or, is the world crazy? You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Yang Mi, my daughter catches ghosts. Scared millions of viewers. Author, Tianyi Madman. Chapter 46. Oh my god. What's happening here? Xiao Shii took a photo, a golden palm shadow. I peed again. This time I didn't pee out of fear, I peed out of excitement. How can it be? Can the palm shadow be seen with the naked eye? Newton's coffin board can hardly hold it down. Are you sure this is a live variety show and not a fantasy fairy tale? I feel so messed up that I can't tell the difference between reality and fantasy. When I see ghosts in the daytime, I'm already messy. But Xiao Shi once again refreshed my knowledge and outlook. I'll just say it. This little 11 is no ordinary person. How could an ordinary child be so calm and polite to call grandma after seeing a ghost? What's even more unusual is probably her big pig's hooves dad. He should have taught Xiao 11 these things. Could it be that he is the legendary immortal cultivator and hermit master? Damn it, De Mimi is lucky, she's got it. Who dares to say that this person is a soft-boiled person? Don't make trouble. Ever since I knew he was a billionaire, no one dared to say that he was a softie, right? The appearance of the golden palm shadow made the audience in the live broadcast room collectively refresh their outlook. Yang Mi, Deliriba, and others present also widened their eyes, their beautiful eyes filled with brilliance. Especially Yang Mi. Looking at his daughter, he actually has such magical and mysterious methods. The mood is as complicated as it is. Needless to say, this was definitely taught by that stinky man. What have I missed over the years? Even my 5-year-old daughter can't see through it. How many secrets will there be in that stinky man? Just when everyone has their own thoughts. The golden palm shadow has changed. When it just flew out of Zhou Shi's hand, the palm shadow was the same size as Zhou Shi's palm. But not long after flying out, the shadow of the palm seemed to be inflated, swelling in the wind. In the blink of an eye, it became the size of an ordinary adult's hand. But that was not the end yet. Everyone just felt a breeze blowing past their faces. It seemed like something was gathering from all directions. All rushed into the golden palm shadow, in an instant. The golden palm shadow swelled to the size of a cattail leaf fan. Blow towards Wang Zhenjiao's chest. What is this? Wang Zhenjiao's mouth made a sharp and piercing scream. It was obviously the old lady Apiao who had got on top of him, and she was panicking. Because she could clearly feel that on this golden palm print, there was what she feared most. Power, the vitality of heaven and earth. And it is a very rich vitality of heaven and earth. She wants to leave this body and go to someone else to avoid the golden palm shadow. However, there is an invisible force on the golden palm shadow. The energy locked her firmly in place. Not to mention the upper body of others. Even if she wanted to move half a step, she was unable to do so. Boom! Golden palm print slapped on Wang Zhenjiao's body. The golden light all over the sky exploded and turned into dots of golden light. It's like a sky full of stars, it's really beautiful. An even more incredible picture appeared. Wang Zhenjiao himself did not seem to be hurt in any way. But from his body, a gray-black shadow floated out, hazy. You can still see the gray-black shadow, which looks like a stooped old lady. She was wearing a gray coarse cloth, and her hair was as white as snow. The face covered with ravines showed a dark blue color. The slightly sunken facial features were distorted due to the pain. She, who was already very scary, was even more effective. But this is not over yet. Little golden lights after the golden palm shadow exploded. As if it had eyes, it flew towards the gray-black shadow. Chi-chi! Chi-chi! Waves of white smoke evaporated. The golden light spots actually seemed to be magma or sulfuric acid. Burning and corroding, the gray-black humanoid shadow. Squeak, squeak. Squeak, squeak. One after another, strange screams that could not be described in words came from the old woman's mouth. It was like iron nails sliding on the glass, the sound was extremely harsh. Everyone around him couldn't help but cover his ears. But it was of no use. The sound seemed to penetrate the soul and was not affected by the physical object at all. Even the audience in the live broadcast room were tortured to the point of death when they heard such a sound. Fortunately, they can mute the sound or take off the headphones. Oops! Is my golden light spell so powerful? Grandma, I'm sorry. I didn't know this palm of mine was so powerful. I just want to beat you out of that uncle's body. Looking at the old woman rolling on the ground in great pain, Joshi ran over with a guilty look on her face, and apologized to her with some self-blame. It was okay if she didn't apologize. That old lady Apiao screamed in even more pain after hearing her apology. I've been tortured like this by you. You said, didn't you know you were so powerful? It means, you think I'm too weak? It's okay to be beaten like this by you. To be humiliated like this by a little kid like you, to bully people, to bully ghosts is too much. It's really too much to bully a ghost. Yang Mi, my daughter catches ghosts. Scared millions of viewers. Author, Tianyi Madman. Chapter 47. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. I actually saw a ghost while riding a horse. After living for more than 20 years, I saw the legendary ghost for the first time. Sure enough, it was exactly what Xiao Shi said, she was a gray-haired old woman. More than 20 years doesn't count, my grandfather is already over 80, because I was too afraid to drag him to watch it together. It was also the first time for him to see it. No more talking, I went to help my grandpa change his pants. Upstairs, you are truly a filial son and grandson. The old man is over 80, why are you torturing him? Brothers. Are you sure this isn't a dream? As a technology worker, I feel like the sky is falling and the earth is falling. No doubt. In order to test whether it was a dream, my mother slapped my face into a pig's head. It's bloody, and I tell you the bloody fact, this horse riding is real. I already believed it. I just didn't expect that Xiao 11 could be so awesome. With a light palm, he surrendered the ghost of Piao. Shocked, terrified, and a little bit want to laugh. After Xiao 11 beat someone up, he actually apologized and said he didn't know he was so powerful. At such an age, he has cultivated Versailles to such a level of perfection that he has reached the pinnacle of perfection. Xiao Shi's future is limitless. What I want to know more now is what kind of existence is Xiao Shi's big pig's hooves father. Yes, a little girl who is only 5 years old is so amazing. How could the person who taught her be so terrifying? Sword flying. Brothers, judging from the current situation, what the guy said about flying with a sword is really riding on a horse. It may be true. No, I want to go become a disciple. Damn, I will be my master's wife from now on. It's a beautiful thought. I have a net worth of hundreds of billions, and I need money and strength. Why should I accept you as my disciple? He won't accept me. Xiao Shi can take me in, I don't care. I also want to kill evil spirits with my palms and fly with my sword. Zhou Shi knocked the evil ghost away with one palm and knocked it out of its prototype. It was really shocking and unbelievable. The audience in the live broadcast room was shocked in just a few minutes. I've been frightened countless times, shocked so many times, my worldview exploded countless times. That big pig's hooves, the flying sword that was originally mentioned casually. Because of this incident, they dug him out again. My daughter is so powerful and my father can fly with a sword. Is there anything wrong with her? There is absolutely nothing wrong with it. So, another voice began to appear in the live broadcast room. They want to become a disciple. Become your teacher to that big pig's hooves whom they once despised. If it doesn't work out, I'll take Zhou Shi as my teacher. A girl who is only 5 years old. So what's the matter? We know how to catch ghosts, so I'm just asking you if you are strong. Kyoto, an unknown nursing home for the elderly, a large indoor activity center. The expressions of the old men and women sitting on the small benches at this moment are also very wonderful. Golden light spell? Is this the golden light spell of Longhu Mountain? Oh my God, How is it possible that a 5-year-old girl has already learned the golden light spell? I once drank tea and discussed Taoism with the celestial master from Longhu Mountain. This is definitely a golden light spell. The golden light spell is nothing. Her golden light spell can leave the body, which is a bit unusual. Yes. As far as I know, if the golden light mantra wants to inspire separation from the body, it must be practiced to the Mahayana realm. It is absolutely impossible to practice the golden light mantra to the Mahayana realm at the age of 5, even if you start practicing it from your mother's womb. I just asked over at Longhu Mountain and they are also paying attention to this little girl. He also said that their highest record was also the completion of the golden light curse at the age of 16. Oh my God, who trained this person and how? No, I want to accept this little girl as my close disciple. You should have no objections, right? If you say you have no opinion, then you have no opinion. Mom, my close disciple seat is just waiting for this little baby. Give me a try, this little girl has excellent bones and is obviously more suitable for my skills, okay. Go to hell. Just take a look and you'll know it's right for you. I also feel that she is more suitable for my practice. It's different from the people in the live broadcast room who want to be apprentices. The people in this nursing home are vying to be apprentices. In the end, a group of old men and women got angry. They stood up one by one, holding maza stools in their hands. Very ready to get into trouble if they disagree. Okay, shut up. A powerful roar rang out, making the noisy environment instantly quiet. It was the old man surnamed Kong who was sitting in the first place. One by one, you are all so old, but you still don't know what stability is, and you don't even have any shame. I also want to take a female doll as my disciple. I don't even think about it, do I deserve it? This girl's doll is in the Mahayana realm of the 5-year-old golden light mantra. For each of you, when you were 5 years old, did any of you sense vitality? I'm embarrassed to say that I want to take on a disciple. Who gave you the courage? The old man surnamed Kong cursed all over his face. The old man and the old lady who were fighting just now turned red with embarrassment. Indeed, think about when I was 5 years old, I didn't even feel my vitality. Really? It's a bit unworthy to accept this little girl as my disciple. Yang Mi, my daughter catches ghosts. Scared millions of viewers. Author, Tianyi Madman. Chapter 48. There's a little more. This little girl is 5 years old and already has the golden light curse of Mahayana, so forget it. Don't forget that behind her, there is a rather mysterious young man. That is her father. You old guys, you all have sons, grandsons, even great-grandsons. Has anyone ever raised their own children to have such evil qualities? Don't even think about it. What kind of person will her father be? Although no one knows what his strength is now. But when it comes to teaching cultivation, at least they are much stronger than you and these old guys put together. The old man surnamed Kong was scolding more and more loudly. The faces of the old men and women below were getting redder and redder, and their heads were lowering and lowering. Okay, Mr. Kong, stop scolding. Yes, yes, we know it's not enough to be shameless. When we find the little girl's father, let's all go and become apprentices. A few old people begged for mercy with sad faces. At this moment, the picture on the big screen showed new dynamics. Everyone ignored other things and sat back on the small bench and watched carefully. If speaking of watching before, they were purely curious. Now they have a mentality of observing and learning. What if their children and grandchildren knew this? The old man and the old woman in their own family were actually asking a 5-year-old child baby learning? I'm afraid your jaw will drop on the spot. Kyoto, Changping, beside the 219 National Road. Squeak, squeak squeak squeak. Zhizzy, zhiz his hizzy. Under the melting and corroding golden light spots, the screams of the ghost of Piao old lady continued. It's just that the voice is getting weaker and less harsh. Yang Mi, Dilruba, as well as the surrounding staff and melon-eating people. I could finally let go of my ears. Although there was still some pain on my face. I was shocked when I looked at Zhou Xi. Seeing a ghost in the daytime was outrageous enough. A 5-year-old girl actually moved her little hands and easily controlled the ghost of Piao. This is even more outrageous. You wouldn't dare to shoot movies and TV shows like this. Especially Yang Mi. Seeing that her daughter is so strong, her emotions are complicated and difficult to understand. That stinky man doesn't seem to be particularly unreliable. At least he raised his daughter to be a bit awesome. Only. Why am I, as his wife and the mother of his child? But he has been kept in the dark. Is it fun for me to be a fool? You are very rich, I don't know. You can catch ghosts, and I don't even know. Besides these, what else would you do? Riding a big horse, like Ning Keichin, a charming female ghost? How many secrets are there in you? What's going on? What a harsh sound. Wait, why are my pants wet? Damn it! There is a ghost. Among all the people present, the most confused one was the chief director Wang Zhenjiao, who had just woken up. He covered his ears and squatted on the ground, looking left and right, wondering what was going on. Until he saw that ghost on the ground. The phantom of Granny Piao, the disappeared memory finally came back. Then Wang Zhenjiao collapsed even more. Because the ghost Granny Piao was right next to him. There was another stream of heat surging in his crotch, and it flowed down to his waist. Thousands of feet. Wang Zhenjiao finally knew why his pants were wet. After living for most of his life, this was the first time he was scared to pee his pants. He was also scared to pee twice in a row. It was really embarrassing for his grandma. Home. But no one around me saw it. If you don't tell me, then just treat it like this once. Hey, director, why are your pants dripping? Suddenly, a voice sounded from behind. Wang Zhenjiao had the idea of killing that person with his bare hands. Will you die if you step on the horse and don't speak? No one will treat you as a mute. Turn around. Wang Zhenjiao will look when he arrived. Everyone's eyes were looking at his pants. In an instant, Wang Zhenjiao's old face turned red. With his embarrassed toes, he dug out the 3 rooms and 2 living rooms, and took out an underground castle. He couldn't wait to get into the underground castle directly. Shame. It's so shameful to step on a horse. Director, it's okay. I was also scared to the point of peeing twice. A female assistant seemed to notice Wang Zhenjiao's embarrassment and wanted to help him ease it. Wang Zhenjiao was about to cry, but he just wanted to thank her whole family. Although I know you have good intentions. But if you insist on saying it clearly, did I get scared and peed twice? Thank you. Damn it, thank you all. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Yang Mi, my daughter catches ghosts. Scared millions of viewers. Author, Tianyi Madman. Chapter 49. A few minutes passed, the little bits of brilliance formed by the disintegration of the golden palm shadow finally slowly dimmed. The gray-black shadow of the ghost of Piao old woman finally slowly floated into the air again. At this time, it coincides with sunset and night is approaching. Grandma Goya Piao's white hair seemed to glow, which was particularly dazzling at dusk. It made Yang Mi, Diliriba, and others feel extremely palpitated. After all, this is the legendary ghost. When you see it in broad daylight, it's already very scary. It's getting dark now, it's even scarier. Grandma, are you okay? Xiao, she really didn't mean it. It's just that I can't grasp it. Just strength and proportion. I practiced with those female ghost sisters before, and they were able to hold on. Joshi, I was naturally not afraid. Not only was she not afraid, she also approached her with a worried look. She made a milky voice as she explained and apologized to the ghost of Piao. Those clear and translucent eyes and extremely serious attitude made her the people around are a little touched. Others talk about ghosts and avoid them. In the eyes of this little girl, it seems that there is no difference between human and ghost. What an innocent person lives in this little body, flawless soul. Is this the last sentence? It would be better if you didn't say it. You may be childish. But to others, this is definitely Versailles. It is even contempt, and contempt for the enemy. Piss off. You little thing, you go too far. I beat the old woman because I thought she was too weak. You're here specifically to mess with people, right? Sure enough, after hearing Joshi's words, that ghost Piao old lady angrily said in northeastern dialect. This big dirt smell is much more pure than coming from the mouths of Wang Zhenjiao and others. The more I think about it, the more I feel aggrieved. Old lady Guia Piao was so angry that she was shaking all over and almost wanted to vomit blood. Unfortunately, she was only a soul body and could not vomit blood at all. Suddenly, she raised her eyes and glanced at the sunset in the west. Her face was covered with ravines. It was originally caused by pain. The distorted facial features slowly unfolded. Ha ha. It's dark. It's finally dark. It's not in vain that the old lady and you were having sex in the car for a long time. Little thing, although you are somewhat capable. But you're so arrogant. When your father taught you, didn't he tell you? After dark, is it the home ground of our yin spirits? Ha 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 ha. The ghost of Piao old lady, the more she talks, the more excited she becomes, and the more she talks, the happier she becomes. He even laughed out loud at the end. At the same time, her originally very dim figure slowly solidified. It's like having an entity. If you haven't seen the whole process with your own eyes. But if you meet her on the street, I'm afraid no one will know that this is a ghost of Piao. This scene frightened everyone around them. Especially Wang Zhenjiao, who was the closest, watching the ghost old lady of Piao, condensing into reality bit by bit in front of his eyes. I felt my legs were weak and I almost peed my pants. But, he had already peed twice, and now he didn't have a drop left. I can't pee even if I want to. The others were not much better. After all, a ghost, Piao, suddenly appeared in physical form, looking like an ordinary person. Just don't be too appalling. The most terrifying thing is, such a stooped, white-haired old lady. In daily life, it is really too common. If ghosts like a Piao can be condensed into entities like this, hiding in the crowd, it's impossible to find him. Thinking of the many possibilities, everyone's body was covered in cold sweat. I don't know how many people couldn't help but peed their pants. Especially those who had already peed once and completely gave up resistance. Just pee. It's so scary. I can't control it, it's true. Lived for so many years. Who can guarantee that? Are all the people who have appeared around me human beings? Yang Mi, my daughter catches ghosts. Scared millions of viewers. Author, Tianyi Madman. Chapter 50. Ghost. Grandma, it turns out you are not a ghost. It's a ghost that can condense into a physical entity. But shouldn't ghosts be pretty powerful? How could you not bear my palm just now? Joshi, I was very curious. She looked up and down at the condensed entity, the old lady Guia Piao. She blinked her big eyes and raised her doubts again. She really didn't understand, so she humbly asked for advice. But the old lady Guia Piao, obviously that's not how she interpreted it. She felt that she had been humiliated again. And it was from a 5-year-old baby. She glared at Joshi fiercely. The ghost of Piao's body slowly appeared around her. A layer of gray-black mist appeared. With the appearance of this gray-black mist, the temperature of the surrounding air dropped sharply. Yang Mi, Deliriba, and others all shivered involuntarily. They were originally very calm. In the weather, there were actually gusts of cold wind. No, it was not an ordinary cold wind. It was more like the legendary gusts of dark wind, passing through the body, biting and cold. As this dark wind gathered, the ghost came. Grandma Apiao's body became more and more solid. The gray-black mist around her body became wider and wider. It enveloped everything within a distance of 5 or 6 meters, including the chief director Wang Zhenjiao and Zhou Xi. Without saying a word, Wang Zhenjiao staggered, rolled, and crawled out of the mist. "Baby, come back!" Yang Mi shouted anxiously, wanting to bring Zhou Xi back. Although she was very afraid of the mist in her heart, her legs kept shaking. But as a mother, how could she let her daughter go? "Mom, don't be afraid. There is a baby here. Dad said that when he is away, let the baby protect you." Zhou Xi turned around and smiled sweetly at Yang Mi. She also showed off her pink little fist. Yang Mi felt a sore nose and tears burst into her eyes. Looking at her daughter's small figure, she blocked the in front of her. Yang Mi was touched, sad, and a little uncomfortable and angry. What made her sad and touched was that, she actually needed her daughter to protect her. What made her sad and angry was, what did that stinky man do all these years? What? How could you think of telling your daughter to protect yourself? You are very confident in yourself. Also very confident in your daughter? Anyway, you just don't have confidence in me. The key is, you know so much. Why didn't you teach me all these years? Otherwise, I wouldn't have to let my daughter stand in front of me. How does this make me feel at ease as a mother? Ah, so scary. Too disgusting. What the hell is this? Mom, help. Just when the thoughts in Yang Mi's mind were extremely complicated and chaotic, something changed again. Several staff members suddenly screamed in fear and tried every means to retreat. Even if their legs were weak, you have to stay away from this place even if you are crawling. Even Deliriba on the side was shaking like chaff and hugged Yang Mi's arm tightly. Looking up, Yang Mi only felt that her scalp was numb and goosebumps were falling off. All over the ground. Even the heart stopped suddenly. As the sinister wind gusted, the ghost mist filled the air. The ghost old lady Apiao had completely turned into a physical state at this time. But, it was not just that. As more and more ghost mist entered the body of the old ghost Apiao seemed to be soaked in water, and became swollen. Her face, which was originally full of wrinkles, was covered with dense ravines, as if there were tens of thousands of earthworms were surging on it. The facial features, which were not very clear at first, were squeezed so hard that they were almost invisible. It was as if there was a tumor-like flesh ball on the neck. And there are waves of stench coming from